Philippians chapter 1, verse 9, Paul says, "My prayer for you is that your love may abound, yet more and more in knowledge and in judgment." So we're going to continue exploring the intelligence of love. My prayer for you is that your love may abound, yet more and more in knowledge and in judgment. The last few weeks we've been looking at the intelligence of love, so I believe that's what Paul's talking about there. And number one, the intelligence gives us insight to love, is that love must be without fear.
Yeah.
It must be without fear, or it's not pure love. Love only knows and understands all. Love doesn't understand some of it. Love doesn't understand part. If there's going to be love, there must be an explanation of that full love. For God so loved that He gave His all. He gave everything. Love the Lord thy God with all your heart, mind, soul, body, and spirit. With all. Hallelujah. But also believe that love has to be learned. Love isn't just something that automatically takes place. Some people might be born with it. They have those basic instincts. I told my son the other day, he's coaching his boys football team, and I made this comment. I said, you need to teach your kids how to deliver the blow. Now that's coaching football terminology. It doesn't mean anything to you, but. And he kind of looked at me, he goes, you either got it or you don't. I said, you need to teach your kids how to deliver the blow. Otherwise, you can't expect them not to be able to deliver the blow. Now, he and I know what that means. But what I was saying to him, you can't just say you either got it or you don't got it. I can't look at you as a congregation and say, well, you either got love or you don't got it. And just figure it out on your own and do the best you can. It's my responsibility to teach you love. I got to teach you love. I can't expect love unless love is taught. The great example of all of love is the giving of Jesus Christ. We just heard it sung this morning. Can you say amen? Okay, but we've got to go beyond that. We have to go to the immediacy of how it applies to our lives right now. And I believe that love must absolutely be learned. And here is how we learn love. We learn love through adversity. You learn how to love. A person learns how to love. Learns what love is all about when they're put in adverse circumstances. Love can only be learned through adversity. Let's think about it for a second. Everything's going great. Everything's going the way they're supposed to go. You got the world by the tail with a downhill pole. Easy to do whatever it is. Everything's going your way. That's easy. But when adversity comes knocking on one's door, when adversity approaches a person's life, now to exemplify love, to execute love, now there's a lot of learning that has to take place and has to go on, because now all of a sudden that which is comfortable, that which I'm familiar with, is now gone away. And if I'm going to grow and sustain and abound, as Paul said, my prayer for you is that your love may yet abound more and more. That means our love is supposed to grow. That means my love is supposed to grow. That means your love is supposed to grow. We're not just supposed to be, not insinuating that we are, but we're not supposed to be just stagnant Christians. Now that we're Christians, we go about and we live our Christian life. Listen, adversity does not come from not doing things. It's easy to not get in trouble. It's easy to not experience adversity when a person doesn't really press the envelope in any way. Doesn't ever say anything that might cross. Doesn't ever say anything. Vote against what everybody else is voting. Stand up and speak. Stand up and proclaim righteousness. It's easy to not do those things and say, oh, aren't we loving? God is love and I love God. But it's a whole other thing when all of a sudden God shuts off all of those spigots of blessings and now just kind of leaves you and I or somebody hanging out there on their own, and it seems like faith doesn't work, hope doesn't work, prayer doesn't work, nothing works, no matter how hard I try, it gets worse, no matter how hard I attempt, things get worse, things get not better, but they get worse. And now all of a sudden, am I still able to execute love? Am I still able, will my love grow in that adversity? I want to look at a story. Turn to John chapter 21. For the next few moments, I want to talk about this story with Peter and the Lord. The Lord had risen from the dead. He showed himself a couple times to the disciples. And now all of a sudden the Lord was not around for a while. And especially Peter. And I really want to draw our attention to the Lord making these points specific to one man. Now, I might be talking to Charlie over here. And I'm going to make a specific point to Charlie. I know the rest of you are going to catch the drift that I'm trying to make to Charlie. But Charlie's really going to get the drift because he's the one I'm talking to. Does that make sense? So while all these other disciples were with Peter on the shore, the Lord spoke directly to Peter. Now, the Lord had been gone for some time. And let me tell you something. The disciples are experiencing some incredible adversity. They didn't know what to do. They didn't have direction. They thought they were going to put a military together. They thought they were going to do a coup. They thought they were going to overthrow the Romans. They were going to bring back Israel to its former glory. And none of that's taken place. And it's awesome that the Lord is risen in Jesus Christ and all that stuff. But I got to tell you something. They're extremely confused. And so Peter goes back to what's comfortable. And he just says kind of to the other disciples, says, I'm going fishing. They said, we'll go with you. And I just love the Lord, how that he let them all that afternoon and all that night talk and discuss out all their frustrations and converse about all of their adversities. Let's fill in some of the gaps. I think while they were on the ship, and that night they were trying to fish, I think they were really grumbling to one another and being critical. You know what? We gave up our lives for him. We put our lives at risk for him. We're at risk right now. I know. I told you all along we need to be careful about what's going on here. Can we really trust this guy? We put our families at risk. Our families right now are at risk. Any of us at any moment could be killed. And they're having this conversation in the boat all night. They're trying to fish, but they're not paying attention. You ever done that before? You ever gone out fishing and you're talking to somebody, you're hunting and you're talking about everything in the world, you know what I'm saying, and 15 buck could have walked right by and you'd have never noticed because you weren't paying attention. That's what they were doing all night. They were maybe throwing out their nest, but they weren't paying attention, and they were talking, and they were grumbling, and they were discussing, and the Lord was allowing them to get all of their adversity, frustrations, and anxieties out. Letting them talk it out, letting them get it out, letting them get it out. And then early in the morning, the Lord comes by. You know the story, right? Hey, got any meat? No. Throw your net on the right side of the boat. Now, we know that they weren't paying attention. Because if they'd have been paying attention, they would have said, what do you know about it? We've been fishing all night. Why don't you just go do something else? But they weren't paying attention. So when they heard a suggestion, throw it on the right side of the boat. So they're tired, so then they just kind of throw it on the right side of the boat, and bam, there it all is. The one who loved Jesus, or Jesus loves, it's the Lord. Peter said, woo! Threw on a little something because he was kind of naked. Naked didn't mean they were like buck naked. Just meant they had this thing on, right? Jumps in the water, yada, yada, yada. Come to the shore. The Lord's got everything prepared the way that they, in their most precious memories of being fishermen. They've got this boatload of fish. They've brought it up on the shore. You know, so much the net's almost broke. The Lord's got a fire going. He's got some fresh bread bacon. By the way, Brother brother, fresh bread this morning? Man, if you didn't come to breakfast this morning, fresh bread, gravy, oh my Lord. Anyway, are we doing that again next week? I think we are, aren't we? Fresh bread? That toast. Listen, if I'm going to go, I'm going to go out eating toast. I'm kind of settling in with that. I don't care about the diet thing. You know. So here's the Lord. He's got a fire going. He's got fresh baked bread. And he's got fish cooking. This is perfect. I mean, this is what these guys love the most, man. I mean, this is where they are the best, right? So they come up to the shore. The Lord does not ask Peter a question. He creates an insinuation. It's not a question when the Lord said, Peter, lovest thou me more than these?